Welcome back to another episode of Recapping 90 Day Fiance. We are on Season 10, Episode 15, and I am going to cover the rest of the couples that I did not get to last time. So you know what that means. Sit down, buckle up, and let's all go for a ride. We're starting things off in LA with Rob and Sophie. Last episode, Sophie let her mother know that she is only 50% into the idea of getting married to Rob, and Rob let his boys know that he is only 40% into the idea of getting married to Sophie. And with those fantastic numbers, we joined Sophie to go pick out her wedding dress. Sophie and Claire are headed out to try on some wedding dresses. I like the fact that in order for them to enjoy this experience even a little,
no, let's just forget about Rob. Rob doesn't exist today, it's just you and me.
Both of them have to basically pretend like Rob does not exist. Claire asks if Sophie has spoken to Rob, and Sophie says that he has not texted her at all. She's going shopping for her wedding dress, the one she will be wearing when she marries you. This is so sad that Rob's anger has now made Sophie have two incredibly crappy experiences with two huge wedding bridal moments, picking out their rings and now wedding dress shopping. Sophie says that she thought he would at least text her goodnight, but instead he posted a meme on social media throwing shade.
Picture says how I sleep at night knowing she's telling one-sided stories to people and taking zero accountability to make me look like a bad person.
This pissed me off a lot because anytime Sophie has complained about Rob, which is a lot, I know, she doesn't really embellish. She doesn't hyperbolize for dramatic effect. Usually whatever she says happened. Now, for Rob, we know that is 100% not true. We have proof that when he recounts a story, he will leave out key points of information that will make the audience see Sophie as the bad guy and see him in a better light. So to post such a hypocritical meme...
Oh my God, he's such a dick.
Also, why are we doing this passive-aggressive shit anyway? This is something I would have done when I was like 15. The man is in his 30s. Grow up! Sophie is sad that Rob is airing out their dirty laundry to everyone on social media instead of working it out with her like an adult. And Claire tries to get her to focus on being positive.
Okay, let's imagine that you're having a fairy tale wedding. Everything's good today.
Which is insane that on the day that you are shopping for your wedding dress, you have to be pushed so hard to pretend that your fiance doesn't suck. Sophie says that she was never one to dream about her wedding dress, but now that she's about to marry Rob and she is in this beautiful dress that makes her feel more beautiful than she has ever been in her entire life, she is actually starting to feel excited about the thought of marrying him. Not because she's in love with him, not because she's going to be marrying her best friend. She cannot wait to marry him because marrying him means she gets to wear this dress. Sophie, girl, take off that dress and bend down to pick up that bar you left on the ground. Despite all of these glaring red flags, when I tell you that Sophie looks phenomenal in every single one of these dresses, Sophie looks amazing in every single one. Rob does not deserve you for a multitude of reasons. Like, maybe eventually one day he will, but right now in this moment, he does not. She walks out in this stunner and Claire starts to get super emotional and says that she's not ready to let her little Sophie go.
Rob was just a massive dickhead to me and my mom. But it's hard to be angry when you're in this like princess fairy wedding dress.
Back at the hotel, Sophie gets ready to head back to Rob's place, so she calls him to ask him to pick her up and he sounds moody as hell.
What's up?
Hey, could you come pick me up from the hotel?
Okay.
Sophie's mom digs into Rob again for being such a knob, and Sophie tells us that she does not technically know the full story because a lot of the tension is happening because she came out as bisexual to him, which I don't really think is a defense. I don't think her coming out as bi justifies his absolutely atrocious behavior towards her. Anyway, she tells her mom that she is indeed bisexual, and Claire is like, okay, and?
Who cares?
I don't get why you're not shocked.
And Sophie, my dearest, your mother does not care because she loves you. And she doesn't think it's the end of the world if you are attracted to women like some other people. Claire is more shocked that she did not tell her this news sooner because Sophie tells her everything. And she's super sad that Sophie was holding on to all of this alone with no one to talk to. Claire says that if she had known this sooner, she would have pushed harder for Sophie to not get married to Rob because she has never been with a woman before, and she just accepted that she is attracted to women. Sophie says she knows she wants to marry a man.
Yeah, but I know I want to marry a man. I want like a
Seems like you
guy
don't really
to,
know
like, cut
anything
wood
right
and
now.
Stuff.
Girl, if you need someone to cut wood, you can just hire someone to cut wood. You don't have to marry him. Also, who here actually thinks this man is gonna cut wood for her? Let us all be real. If you ask that man to cut you some wood, he is just gonna start complaining. There you go, wanting me to do something else for you. Aren't you a strong, independent woman? You cut your own damn wood. Claire says that she is a little confused. She's convinced that they are falling out of love right in this moment, and Sophie really should be walking away. They say their goodbyes, and Sophie tells us that her mom's advice is the same as everyone else's. You should experience a girl before getting married to Rob. Who wants to tell her that nobody gives a damn if she actually goes on to date a woman? They just all want her to leave Rob. Next, we're heading to Missouri with Sam and Citra. Last episode, Sam finally came clean to Herman about how he failed to file his diversion like a dummy, and he might be going to jail because of it. And Herman told him that if he loses his case, Citra's coming back with him to Indonesia. Back to the here and now, Citra and her sisters are going shopping for an American wedding dress. When the store clerk asks her what she's looking for, Citra just says something white, which, you know, it really narrows down your options. Citra says that her perfect wedding would be like the one in Twilight because it was in the woods and it was very romantic, and I have not seen those movies, but I did Google some pictures and it looks pretty, so I guess same? She ends up finding her perfect dress, and while she is riding on cloud 9, her sisters ask her if she's sure she wants to marry Sam. Apparently, this is quite a common occurrence because Citra tells us that she is getting tired of being asked this question. On the flip side, Sam meets up with his mother at a pawn shop to look for a wedding ring. He says that right now this is all he can afford, and when he initially asked Citra to marry him, he used a flower because that was all he could afford at the time. He says Citra said he has to get her a ring eventually, not because of the money, but because if he cannot afford a ring, how can he provide for her? So it is about the money. But I get it. If you are in like the traditional relationship, man brings home the bacon, woman keeps house, this is 100% legitimate concern. Sam's mom says she loves Citra and is happy that they're getting married despite not believing in the same God. I like how she's like, I'm not gonna let it affect me. And then she just brings it up all the time. Sam's mom picks out a ring and the salesperson says it is $298. Sam hesitates, so the saleswoman says that she can help him out a little.
I can help you out a little here. I can knock an extra 20 off. I could make it $278.
I do not think $20 is that much of a deal. Like, if you are gonna position that you're gonna help me out, knock it off 20%. But this is enough to convince Sam to make the purchase. So, you know what? Good on you, shopkeep. Still made the sale. Sam asks his mom if she's coming to the wedding and the conversion ceremony, and his mom says yes to the wedding, no to the conversion.
I don't want to hurt his feelings, but I don't feel I should go to that because of my own beliefs.
His mom's crusade to just not support their wedding really bothers me because before Citra, Sam was an atheist. If he never met Citra, he would still be an atheist. So let's shift Mama Sam's perspective a little bit. Instead of thinking that he's converting religions because he did not believe in a religion before, think of it as he did not believe in your God before and he is choosing to continue not believing in your God now. Also, go support your son. Sam expresses his disappointment, and his mom says that she will think about it.
I wish she could just check those feelings for an hour or two and celebrate with me. Just be happy, you know?
Everyone heads up to the farmhouse that Citra's family will be staying in, and her family comments on how it is so nice and so big.
Apa kamu nanti setelah nikah mau tinggal di tempat ini atau gimana?
Citra says she does not want to live in a big house because she's afraid of murderers hiding in the basement. Girl, you should be more afraid of the fact that it is a big house that you will be cleaning all by yourself. The next morning, Citra and her father sit down to have a little chat. In Indonesia, Herman used to work on the drug division as a cop, and he has this growing concern that Sam may relapse. He asks her to explain his drug usage and whether it was recreational or not. She explains that it was prescription medication that he started when he was in high school, and Herman's worries are not pacified, and he worries that she will be abandoned. He encourages her to rethink her wedding. She says that should Sam go to jail, she is ready to wait for him because breaking up is not an option for her. She loves him and he needs her. Herman asks if he says not to get married, if Citra will even listen to him, and she says no. Herman says he has doubts and she will have a hard life, which he does not want for her. Saving the worst for last, let's go to Nikki and Justin. Last episode, we learned that Justin's idea of masculinity is just barking commands at Nikki, and we also learned that Nikki's bar for men is buried somewhere near the core of the earth. Back to present day, it is morning, the two are getting ready for their engagement party. Nikki is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and hops on over to give Justin a loving peck on the cheek, and Justin tells her that he is adding 1 point to her score. We are 3 seconds into this segment. This man opened his mouth and pissed me off. Justin tells us that Nikki and him do not have a perfect relationship, no Sherlock, but that they were able to resolve enough issues the day before for him to feel much better about their engagement party today. Nikki tells us that Justin and him do not have a perfect relationship, no Sherlock, but that he proves himself time and time again. Girl, where? Justin heads to the engagement party while Nikki gets ready since she is going to be a while. Nikki's friend Chanel calls and she's like, your mom just told me Justin wants a threesome. What is going on? Why does he want sex with women that are not you? And she goes on to ask Nikki if this is what she really wants, and Nikki of course says yes. Nikki defends the relationship, saying they both love each other and there is something special there. She says it's so difficult for a straight guy to accept a trans woman, and Chanel says she knows, and you know what, she's just really rooting for them to work out because she does not want to see Nikki get her heart broken. Nikki says she always asks her for advice but doesn't always take it because you can't take everyone's advice, but Nikki, you should take her advice. Stop being an ask-hole. Nikki arrives looking stunning, and Justin looks like he might actually want to bang his fiance.
I feel like, wow, I feel some special vibes here and inside my heart.
One of Justin's friends reminds Nikki that she promised a live performance. Everyone peer pressures her, and it was...
I'm just gonna be honest. You must be the hottest thing I've ever seen. Why?
It was not great. But you know what? Even Nikki knew it wasn't great.
You know, sing a little pitchy, sound like bad karaoke, but I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna like sing my song. And
despite that, everyone is super supportive. Snaps, claps, and cheers. And with that, my Panda Pals, we are at the end of this recap. Let's be honest, we all know everyone is gonna marry everybody because everybody is delusional, nobody has standards, and no one can set any healthy boundaries. But you know what? I'm here for this mess, and I will be here recapping it every step of the way for y'all. Other than that, thanks so much for joining, and as always, thank you for not letting me ride this train wreck alone. Bye.